Welcome back to another Anime Rambles. Today we are going to be talking about One Piece and more specifically swords in One Piece because there are a few miscommunications that some YouTubers put out that I feel like is worth talking about and clarifying when it comes to the wide variety of swords in One Piece. All right. So, where do we start? Well, let's start with the Library of Ohara's Sword Encyclopedia grade. We are only going to be looking at a couple of pictures from examples, but the link to the Library of Ohara will be in the description below. And yeah, a great resource if you want to check out and learn more about all the One Piece swords. Yeah, that'll be down in the description. It's a great resource and I highly recommend it. Anywho, let's jump right into it. So, what does Meito mean? As Meito is the highest grade of sword, which basically means how do I put it? If the sword is amazing and it is wielded by if it has some sort of significance, it ends up being a Meito grade sword. Now, does this mean that it is more powerful? If you pick it up, you can feel the surge? No, almost certainly not. Meito grade swords, in my opinion, are a lot less the fact that they're so amazing and more of the fact about who hands they're in. The Meito grade swords got are pretty much mostly held by notable people or have been held by notable people in the past. So let's talk about a couple of these swords. A great example, let's pull up Yoru, Mihawk Hawkeye sword. Did I say Mihawk Hawkeye? Dracul Mihawk. All right. Yoru is just a big sword. It is sharp as attack, and this is what the most powerful sword in One Piece looks like and is. It is a grade Saijo Owazamono, which makes it a Meito classification, and the different classifications within Meito itself can be shown if I undo this layer here. So the highest grade one is Saijo Owazamono, then Owazamono, Ryo Wazamono, and then just Wazamono. As you can see, different characters own these different swords currently in the story. These are the ones we currently know about. Now, many people have a misconception where they think sword rank, such as like the bounty system, equivalates to power level of the character wielding it. If someone has a Saijo Wazamono, it doesn't mean that they are immediately the most powerful character. Great example being if Buggy had a Saijo Wazamono, if he somehow got his hands on one, he would not be immensely more powerful than half the characters in the story. It just wouldn't happen. Now, what makes a sword a certain grade, I don't think is how it's forged. I would say that all of the Meito swords have about the same forging. Because at a certain level, you can't get higher than perfect. You get perfect, and then you just get crap swords, and those crap swords just aren't listed under Meito grade. Meito is just a good sword. It's a great sword. It's a sword with no imperfections. It's going to last for a long time. It looks beautiful. That's just what it is. There's no way Meito can refer to a group of swords made by a specific swordsman. Because if you look at what Meito is, it just has such a wide variety of what these swords truly are. Like, they're not from any particular place in the One Piece world. For a great example, let me open up a web thing so I can show the Library of Ohara's thing. Okay, and then, okay, yes. Cool. All right, let me make this a bit smaller. And just whoop. There we go. All right. So as we go through here, we can see that these swords, they're not all katanas. They pretty much come in all shapes and sizes. Cavendish has a rapier. These look like some arming swords. I'm not great with swords, but I'll do my best. This one's not a katana either. It doesn't have the traditional katana curve. it looks a lot more like a saber. Oh, yeah, I'm getting it right because it says right here. Anywho, as we go down, we start seeing more and more different types of swords, and most of these are Meito grade. All pretty much named swords are Meito grade, but they all have different styles and looks. Now we're getting to things that aren't even listed. But if we just scroll back to the top, we can see the fact that most of these swords are different. The only ones that are katana are, well, most of them except for, Mihawk's sword. But it's less about who made the sword and more about who has the sword or who has had this sword. So let's think about the wielders on this list. Obviously, Mihawk, Zoro, um, uh, Tashigi. Let's talk about them. So, Zoro's Yoru, I doubt was a Saijo Owazamono before he had it. Or if he did, he got it from like the previous greatest swordsman. It's been passed down the line. Because some people have the misconception where they think that a Saijo Owazamono sword is something with great power. But no. If someone just in the One Piece world just picked up a Saijo Owazamono sword and just held it, it would not give them power. They would not be able to defeat anyone. Someone with a marine with a pistol would immediately take him out. It wouldn't matter in the slightest. Now, what these represent is their cost, how much they would be to sell, or who had them and what notoriety do they have behind them, again, for monetary purposes. So if they were being sold on the black market, it would be a lot higher priced. Maybe a collector or Tenryubito would pay more to get Mihawk's sword. Maybe Vigorusei, who has the other Saijo Owazamono sword, has got his, and maybe it used to be Rock's Dzebek swords. Who knows? We don't. But these swords all seem to have some sort of clout behind them. Some sort of thing that some sort of person had them previously that rose them to this rank, that made them notable in the world and made people aware of the name of these swords. A great example is one of Zoro's sword. I don't know which one it is. I know it's not Sushi. It might be Enma? I don't know, but it was from some historical figure in Wano who's slain a dragon. I would bet since that sword has slain a dragon, that's how it rose through the grades to where it is currently. More by a cloud system than who actually owns it. Because if this sword system did refer to forging or something else, it would be most of these swords wouldn't be active in the world. They would be in museums or on display or in homes of Tenryubito or other world nobles. But instead, most of these swords are active on the seas. Why would the most significant swords in all of history be active on the seas? It's because they didn't always used to be the most significant swords. They became the most significant swords because of the wielders at sea. Because Zoro has accomplished so much. Because the Tenryubito got it from someone who did, or maybe he performed acts in his heyday that brought it to a Saijo Owazamono grade. Yoru was just a big hunk of metal that no one could use until Mihawk picked it up. I wouldn't even be surprised if Mihawk's butter knife that he's slain Zoro with in East Blue was a Meito grade sword because he's the one who wielded it in an actual fight. Most of these swords are from Clout, or if they weren't, I would say they had Clout in previous series. In history in the One Piece world. These swords don't represent power level. They represent clout level. exactly the same as the bounty system in One Piece. It's ridiculous to think that a powerful sword is going to make you more powerful if you don't have the skills to use it. And even if you do, if someone's just more skilled with you, that has been proven time and time again with Zoro's no sword technique. Because he's so good with swords, he can literally just cut the air in front of you and you just fall over. So, to wrap up this video, sword ranks are not power levels. Yoru's sword is no stronger than Zoro's Sandai Kitsetsu. It's just the fact that Yoru is in Mihawk's hands and Sandai Kitetsu is in Zoro's hands. So I wouldn't compare these as powerful compared to one another. I would think more about the characters using them. Very similar reason to Buggy is not more powerful than Crocodile just because they're both warlords of the sea. There's a very clear distinction in how they got there. Becoming warlord or even emperor isn't a symbol of power levels. It's a symbol of clouts, of what you have accomplished in the world, which is, in a way, even more impressive. But people have been comparing it to power levels for way too long, and I feel like this clarifies that misconception. If you agree, let me know why in the comments, and if you disagree, I read the comments. So I'd like to hear what you guys think. But this is probably going to get no views, but the last time I said that, the video got over 1,000 views. But knowing my recent streak, probably going to get no views. If you like anime content like this, check out the other videos on my channel. You'll probably like them. And leave a like on the video. I'll see y'all in the next episode. Bye-bye.